Welcome. My name is Trish. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's reading, I'm going to take a look at some predictions for Australia for the month of July. Let's take a look at some of the predictions for July for Australia. Now, I did not ask for because I know that there's like a cyclone coming off the east coast of Australia, so I didn't ask for that at all to be revealed here because that's already in the news. It is showing that it's happening within a couple of days or later this week. So I didn't ask for that one because we already know that this one is coming and predicted on the mainstream media. But what I do find funny is that when I was thinking about the predictions this morning, this is the card that I thought about this morning without pulling the cards. This is the one I was thinking, and in my mind it was, what do we normally need to stock up on here in Australia? It's normally the shorties that we get are things like eggs, sometimes it's fruits. Now this could be related to the storms that's coming in. The cyclone that's coming in could affect produce of some sort in those areas, and so therefore we need to stock up now because they'll become very expensive. Things like bananas, things like different fruits that are grown or produce grown in the regions that this cyclone's coming in, maybe they're the things that we need to stock up on now. I know blueberries are very expensive right now, so maybe there's other things that are going to become expensive coming up soon as well. So prepare what you can, stock up what you can. Now the funny thing is, when I thought about this card early this morning, I thought toilet paper. That's the thing that we normally stock up on here. Now I know it's not related to toilet paper at all, but that's what it made me laugh to think when I thought, what do Australians stock up on when we're told that we need to prepare or something's coming? One of the things is there's craziness around toilet paper. I don't think toilet paper is going to be affected, but it is saying that something may be affected, perhaps even by this storm that's coming in or another storm during the month. So think about things that we could stock up on now that could be affected later or become more expensive. Now I am getting something going on, reversing course around new policies, things returning to normal. Now this could be one of two things. This could be the social media rules. There could be something coming up around the new social media rules for children under 16. They are talking about putting YouTube into the mix now as well. Maybe they're going to reverse course on that idea, on that part of it. Maybe some part of that then returns back to normal. So maybe there's a little bit of fear going on, or people are thinking that it's going to affect them, but something returns back to normal. It could be just with this line here that these new policies, they're going to reverse course on parts of them. Now it could be that other countries get involved here. It could be connected to, and we've got the borders, so outside of our borders, could become involved in our decision to censor our social media. And therefore they need to reverse course on part of that. Part of those new rules or policies that come in could have a level of freedom of speech, could be affected in some way. And now they're having to reverse course on that because of outside influences, other countries becoming involved in those decisions. Maybe there's a bit of strategy here involved around this. There could be strategic moves that are like chessboard pieces, like part of deals that we make in order we'll go back on our word on certain policies we're thinking of bringing in order to move forward with other things outside of our borders. This could be talking about security around our borders. Here for us, it's usually China. So here we're talking about having to at least enhance or pick up our security on our borders. Now there's a lot of talk about defence for all countries around the world having to increase their defence budgets, and that is happening for us here in Australia as well. But there is a lot of uncertainty going on around, and we really need to put more focus into our security. And maybe that's already happening. Maybe there's already talks going on. Penny Wong going to US this week. Maybe part of that talk is going to be about our Five Eyes or our security that we have here with other countries. having to around our own borders, but mixing in. So I'm getting two things here. This one is being our own personal borders. Now there's usually China and having to think about, security on our borders, better security with our borders. That could be something that arises in the talks when Penny Wong goes over to the US to meet over there. Unwavering stance. This picture here is saying somebody is being very, what's the word here? You can see the face here that's going on here. They're not backing down. They're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't think it's important. I think something else is more important. I'm not going to look at this. So somebody's not willing to bend in the talks here, some within the talks around our security or our borders or our increasing our defence. There's a bit of unwavering stance. Now this could be the AUKUS deal. There's unwavering stance here when it comes to talking about defence or our AUKUS deal or our security around our borders. The other thing I was picking up on is security, increasing security for us when it comes to our Five Eyes partnership or our Quad partnership that we have as well. Maybe we're going to increase our security for that quadrant or that Five Eyes. But I do feel reversing course is coming up around some of the new laws, and I could even be that social media law. Commercial airlines sitting on the table as well. There's uncertainty around a commercial airline here. Now, it does say crypto uncertainty. We could be talking about crypto uncertainty, but I do feel because it's sitting underneath commercial airline, there could be some kind of uncertainty in the airlines, some kind of strikes, some kind of delays, or something affected. Our airlines are affected in some way, but it could also be uncertainty for one particular airline, or such as Qantas or Jetstar, Virgin. That's our main airlines here. It could even be another airline trying to come in, but there's uncertainty around that. And I think Qatar Airlines is one that has tried to come into Australian spaces before. They ended up buying into Virgin Airlines. So I feel like there's a little bit of uncertainty. Maybe there's some strategic moves on the table around our airlines, but it brings in a little bit of uncertainty here around airlines. So hopefully that this commercial airline is only talking about the airlines and not an actual commercial flight. But it could just be flights, uncertainty around flights, confusion, delays, cancellations around airlines or flights here. Things will return to normal, though, it says sitting there. So I think I got it all. That's a lot, but I do feel that the storm coming in is going to affect the produce, so we do need to prepare now, because there could be less produce in the future because of something that happened in the month of July. So start to prepare and stock up for that now. So hopefully we'll see how we go with these predictions for Australia. Thank you so much for joining me.